Check, 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 check. Yo, we are back.
We're back again.
Back again.
We're back again.
Mr. Fresh.
And it's Mr. Freds.
Alright, so it's been a while still.
I know, man.
It's been a while.
I know, man.
Coronavirus, and everything called coronavirus came through and just halted all of the progress.
The whole of the world, let alone our progress.
Serious.
Everything,
stopped,
bro.
like,
everything.
Literal lockdown.
You get me? So, I'm just glad that, things are slowly starting to feel normal again.
Yeah.
But you know what? Obviously, we want to pay our respects to anyone who's been affected by the virus and anyone who's lost anybody due to the virus. Our love, thoughts, prayers, anything you can think of is with you. Like, 100%.
Yeah, man. Condolences to anyone that lost anyone, and sad times for anyone that's lost financial opportunities.
Anything, if you honestly,
mental health, and
everything.
A lot of people struggle through that kind of thing. So. Our thoughts go out to all of you guys too, but we are back to bring some positivity to
YouTube
to
your
screen.
life.
We're here.
Oh, so no.
We knew what kind of thing it had to be
talking
today.
About positivity.
Man had to represent for today because
talking about positivity.
We're talking about winners right
Baby pet. Who's Jurgen Klopp, bruv? 4 seasons it took man to win 1 trophy. We did it in 7 months.
7 months.
With a virus. Nothing's stopping us.
No. And what a run, bruv. Like the team that we beat,
bro. Let's just put it into perspective.
Yeah.
So we beat Sheffield United.
Great team.
They're a tough team to beat as it is anyway. And in that, if you watch that game, it wasn't an easy game.
No, not at all.
We literally won the game. It was against the grain. I think it was against the grain. Like,
it was like a smash and grab.
It was a smash and grab, which we don't really do, innit?
No.
That's more of like a Liverpool United thing. It's not really an Arsenal thing. Not really our thing to smash and grab. We just either dominate or we get dominated.
Yeah.
There's no in between. I'm starting to see that in between. I'm starting to see.
Yeah, man. Like, okay, for the people that are obviously not seen us kind of talk about football for a while, but we still have our kind of mini podcasts on the phone and stuff like that. That just haven't been brought to you guys, and we've been talking about Arteta, and I just want to put it out there, and I don't want to say a few things, and that I said that I was like very happy that he was the manager.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't know because I needed to see something.
As
soon as he got appointed, but his mannerisms and the way he talks and he just control. Like, I know a smart person when he controls the media. It's like he doesn't give away anything he doesn't want to give away. He's direct. He's smart. I know you wasn't over the moon about him.
Okay, but look, I just look at it in a perspective like, look, I want Arsenal to be back to the top. Well, this is my thought process anyway. So I want Arsenal to be back to the top. How are we going to compete with the best 2 managers in the world, in Pep and Klopp, with Arteta? That was my initial thought process.
Yeah.
When you start to dive in and see what Wenger said about him, see what other players like Tim Cahill... I was watching a video about Tim Cahill saying that Arteta was the most knowledgeable person at Everton. You know what I mean? Because at times, he was dictating what they're doing and what they're going to do, and he's analysing things in a different way. So it was as if it was his destiny to become a manager.
Oh, yeah.
Because as a footballer... he wasn't great.
Wow.
But at the end of the day, you don't need it.
Or was he not?
You don't need it. But he's an Everton legend.
Yeah.
They consider him an Everton legend. And you know what? He captained us to an FA Cup trophy in our trophy draw. And now he's captained us. I mean, he's managed us to an FA Cup trophy. So, I don't know.
You know what happens as well? Something that I've noticed, especially with football fans, it's all about the brand.
Yeah, it's
like,
all about brand.
I feel like he didn't have a flashy brand, and because he was at Everton, and then he's like, "Oh, why are we signing him for?"
Oh, he's not a Madrid legend.
Yeah, like
he's not a Premier League winner. Oh, this and that. How can he be successful in the Premier League?
I think people need to give players a chance, and sometimes look at them for what they do and what they bring to the pitch, as opposed to how flashy they are as a brand.
But the thing is with me though, it wasn't more about the brand. It was more about credibility.
Yeah.
And to me, when I just put it on the plate, I said, "There's no managerial experience." He's an assistant manager to Pep, and it's only been 2 seasons that he's been assistant manager, or maybe 3 at max. You know what I mean? So I'm not expecting, and it wasn't Arteta's fault because Arteta is a good manager, and I want him to do well. And I said that from the start. I want him to do well. I just assumed he's not going to do well because he hasn't got the correct backing. The situation he's been put in is not a situation that somebody who's inexperienced can rebuild.
Yeah.
And boy, did he prove man wrong. That's it. That's all I can say. He proved me wrong to the point. When Arsenal faced Man City in the semi-final, it was that game that proved to me that... and I said it in our group chat. I said, this could be the turning point in Arsenal Football Club history. You don't know that this situation, this win right here against City, could could change everything.
Okay.
And to me, it did. I seen something on that pitch that day.
Yeah.
The Arsenal players were ready to die on the pitch that day.
Yeah, you can tell
they were ready to die on that pitch. They were ready to die on that pitch for Arteta that day. And then in the final, the way I seen Dani Ceballos react to Aubameyang's second goal, he was on the floor, banging his head, banging the floor, going mad.
Headbutt the thing, you know.
I've seen Ceballos, even after Aubameyang scored the penalty, he was the only geezer who ran and picked the ball up and started running back to the halfway line. And that mentality right there, I thought we needed big Vieira for that mentality, and you need that big solid centre mid who's going to bring that mentality. And you know what? He's got that mentality. And who else had that mentality? Nicholas Blood Clark Pepe.
Like he had such
tell me about that performance in the final.
Nah, he showed his ability that game. He had some weird moments, but he had some fantastic moments as well. Because you allow that with a creative player, like you let them, as long as he's working hard.
Look, people forget creativity is hit and miss. You have to take risks.
Yeah.
So you risk it. I've seen someone talking about, for example, Bruno Fernandes. Oh, look how many times he's been dispossessed.
Okay.
If you know anything about football, a creative midfielder will lose a ball because he's trying to make things happen. They're trying to force a pass. They're trying to make that risky pass because if it pays off, you're scoring. And if it doesn't pay off, you're gonna you have to firm it and you have to defend. But if it pays off, you're scoring, and it's what Bruno says, and it's what all creative midfielders say, that you have to be risky.
Yeah, you have to. And I think what Ceballos does as well, like he's got that silk and he'll take man on.
Of course.
But as soon as he loses the ball, he's cutting,
running back and getting it. How many times have we seen Ceballos? You know, he's dropped the shoulder, gone past the player, probably lost the ball.
Yeah.
But it's Dani Ceballos that wins the ball back, so you know what?
It's fine.
I don't mind, Danny.
Yeah. Do you think?
I don't mind, do you think?
Vamos.
Vamos. Oh, don't tell me.
I'm back again with Espana, my veteran here, fam.
Nah.
Me and Joe Lingo have been like that through lockdown, dog.
Is your iPhone still all in Spanish?
At the moment, no. I turned it back. I did turn it.
We're seeing progress. But talking about
next time you're going to catch me in the sombrero for the next podcast, you know, it's all crazy, bro.
Seriously, bro. Honestly, like the progress that I'm seeing in Arsenal right now, and the determination and the fight and the true desire to win things. Because to be 1-0 down to Chelsea that early, I'm telling you, and we know this as Arsenal fans, and every other Arsenal fan out there knows this.
Yeah,
we would have crumbled.
100%.
Under Arsene Wenger, we would have crumbled. Especially under Emery. Well, Wenger's last year.
I don't like to do that, fam.
Under Emery, I know you don't like to do that. But under Emery, from what I've seen in the last 2 seasons, we would crumble in that situation.
Can I caveat
we
that?
never crumbled.
We
never crumbled.
Let me just say this, because I had a bit of a debate with my friend about this.
Yeah.
I like Arteta a lot. He's my favourite. I'm glad that he's there with Emery. I gave Emery a chance.
Yeah.
There was always a little disconnect, but I let it
there's a disconnect there.
There was something not right culturally, I think.
There was
communication-wise. But I don't want to throw him under the bus.
No, of course not, because
we didn't lose many games with him, you know.
We didn't, but you know what it is? With what I think it was with Unai Emery, is that Unai Emery still had someone like Ramsey at the club who was literally he's like the last of Wenger's era. Ramsey was. You get what I'm trying to say? Like I don't know. I think Ramsey. Can I
explain what I think?
Of course. I just think Ramsey was more important to that team than we actually think.
Oh yeah, but the thing with Ramsey, which is why I wasn't pro him leaving, but I knew that the reason they let him go, he would have wanted like a 250k contract where he's on 400 that you
doesn't really,
but he doesn't play enough. Like throughout his career, he's more injured than not, and you have to think about that when you're a business. You know what? As an investment, do you invest someone
football's business
400k on someone that may play like 15 games for you in the start of the season?
Yeah,
probably not. But like that's why they got rid of Danny Welbeck, etc. But with Emery, like don't get me wrong, people. Arteta's a big upgrade on him, and he did make mistakes. But what he did was he kind of created the foundation for it. The things that Arteta's doing now, that a lot of Arsenal fans are like, yeah man, do that. Emery was doing the same thing, but if your face doesn't fit, sometimes it doesn't work. He's playing. Everyone's saying, "Oh, Aubameyang should be out on the left. That's Emery's fault." Aubameyang is a left-sided forward. Trust me, he's not a central striker. I know we're gonna debate on that. We're gonna debate on that.
I could argue that.
You could argue.
You know what?
We'll do that.
Another time.
We'll do that.
Another time.
But
stay tuned.
Arteta pops him on the left.
Yeah.
We just accept it.
Yeah.
Ozil gets dropped by Emery. Emery's our most
it's true because I was saying this as well. Because I was actually saying free Ozil. Yeah, I was saying that as well, so I can actually admit to that.
Arteta does it.
Okay, cool. Emery's vision was
5-3-3, going to 5 at the back. How can you be such a defensive manager going to teams like Sheffield United?
Yeah.
Arteta plays 5 at the back. tactical masterclass. That's why sometimes I don't always get too ingrained into what people think, and I don't want to throw him on the box. I think he'll do a great job at Villarreal.
I get your point, but I'm going to break it down to you
exactly why he's not. For it. Go on.
Unai Emery might have had the vision, might have had the plan.
Yeah.
He never had the ability to execute. That is the God honest truth. He never had the ability to execute. He never had the ability to execute his plan. He never had the ability to execute his vision. Sometimes it may have worked, but most of the time it did not. Okay. Now, if you're trying something and it's not working at all, it's not working. It wasn't working. We weren't losing games, but we weren't winning games either. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Arteta's lost more games than Emery.
Yeah, he might, because Arteta takes more risk. Because Arteta likes to actually attack. He tries to attack.
So did
Unai.
You know what his actual fundamental flaw was, and this is the reason why. What he tried to do is have ball carriers. He was asking Guendouzi and Xhaka to be ball carriers, whereas Arteta's like, allow that, get the ball, pass, pop, which is like how play. So what was happening is Guendouzi, the midfield were like pressing and moving forward with the ball, getting dispossessed, and then the counter, you straight at the back line.
So whose fault is that?
That's it. I'm not saying that Emery's
done. I told you. He had the vision and the plan.
That was execution. I'd say that was his mistake.
Execution was poor.
But at the same time, player-wise, like I think he got shafted by the club as well.
Yeah, I do think when you're in a club and there's that language barrier.
Yeah.
Because there was a language barrier because obviously I don't know if anybody knows, but Unai Emery, he was struggling to talk English and he did have like a translator to. You can't take a manager serious when you're not even directly getting instructions off him. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that was the biggest... Because at the start, we had kind of had a joke about good evening. But then it started to become a bit offensive. And then it started to become a way of taking the piss out of him, basically. And the players started doing it. Yeah. And Lacazette and Aubameyang and Ozil and the senior players just took the piss out of him. And as a young player, when you're seeing your senior players take the piss out of this manager, you're assuming this brother ain't got long hair. Because it's easier to replace a manager than it is to replace a 23-man squad. So I believe Emery should have been sacked when we lost to Chelsea against Baku in Baku. In
hindsight, I do agree with that.
Because we threw away the top four to win the Europa League, which didn't make no sense because the Europa League is not a prestigious trophy. The best thing about the Europa League is the fact that you get Champions League football. That's why everyone's so like... It gave more credibility to the trophy, but the trophy itself is not prestigious. It's literally as prestigious as... To me anyway, it's as prestigious as like a throwaway cup. Seriously, like I don't... honestly, the cup in itself...
I feel like you're trying to put the Europa League on like Community Shield level.
Nah, I wouldn't...
Nah, don't disrespect it like that.
Nah, I'm not going to say Community Shield level, but it's nothing that I would sit there and say, yo man, we won the Europa League.
Yeah.
I would turn around and say, yes man, we're back in the Champions League.
Okay.
I'll never sit there and say, yeah, we won the Euro, even though we haven't.
No,
but I just personally know I wouldn't because it's not something where I want to see my club playing in. Okay. I want to see my club Champions League football.
Of course.
And the only European cup that I'm going to celebrate, if we ever do win it, is the Champions League. Europa League and all that, nah. Mark my words.
I will be
this video forever. Mark my words. I will never celebrate winning the Europa League, but I will always celebrate winning the FA Cup more. You know what I'm saying? It's our trophy. We're a traditionalist. And speaking about the FA Cup.
Yeah. Let's chop it up, bro.
Champion.
Great game, man. Great game. It was different. I think it showed another dynamic to the team.
The mentality. I think Aubameyang finally stepped up.
Yeah.
I think Aubameyang finally stepped up.
I think he steps up quite regularly still. I think we've just been...
I think, you know what it is? I think because we don't really play a lot of important games, which is true, we don't, because this season we ain't played a lot of important games because we've just been flying around the mid-table all season. When we think about important games and players to step up, for me, the player that usually steps up is Lacazette in big games. Whether he scores or assists, whatever, but you can see in the game that he's trying to impact the game. And it's very easy to mark Aubameyang out of the game because of the all-round ability playing out wide. You need a bit more sauce, you know what I mean? But on Saturday, he
oozing sauce.
Right foot. Right foot.
Yeah.
Bang, left foot. You know that there. That there is a world class goal, and that there is called stepping up for your team when it matters. 100%. And you know what? Aubameyang stepped up, bro.
He needs to sign the contract, man.
He's got the number 14 on his back, but we can't show you.
Yeah, we can't show you. We can't show you that.
But he's got the number 14.
Let's believe we're repping.
Number 14 brought us back the number 14 title. It's the record, FA Cup record. He literally produced it for us, but there was a lot of man that had a hand in there.
There were. So, like, thinking about the actual game, who would you say was like the standout players against Chelsea?
Nicholas. Blood clot.
Nicolas Rascal Pepe.
Pepe.
Yeah.
Respect my right winger.
He had an interesting game. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I was watching it and I thought, oh, he keeps losing the ball. That's what happens, I guess, when you...
Yeah, like we said, Annie. When you're a creative player, you are going to lose the ball. When you're trying to make things happen, you might sometimes lose the ball, but then players need to take responsibility, not just Pepe. If you know as a player that, all right, Pepe's a creative player, there's an opportunity that you could lose the ball in. You got to be ready. And you know who's ready? Oh, Danny Ceballos.
Oh, Danny Ceballos.
Oh, he's such a baller.
Bad boy player. He was sick on that game as well. I feel like Pepe's catching a bit of the Danny Ceballos thing where he's got the flair, but he's also got the work ethic as well. Yeah. Like, that was the first game I've ever watched Pepe and I was like, rah. He actually wants to win, Like,
and you know what was funny? Did you see the video that came out and went viral the night before? The night after it come out.
Pepe
before the FA Cup final, he basically said this in French. He come to the camera and he said, "Everyone's talking about Chelsea. Everyone's talking about old Giroud." He goes, "No, tomorrow we're gonna qualify for Europa League, and all they're gonna say is Aubameyang and Pepe." And then in the end, the two or three best players on the pitch that day were Aubameyang and Pepe.
Yeah.
You get me?
100%. I rate him, man.
And Pepe's goal, if that stood. If that would have stood.
Goal, the Meg, like all of that.
If that would have stood, I swear to God.
The tweets would have been mad. Freds would have been on heat, you know. His
keyboard would be come on, Salah. Salah's a bit too far.
Fred's keyboard was smoking, it was ready but pending.
No. A lot of people's tweets weren't loading still. A lot of people's tweets weren't loaded.
Couple drafts in the chamber.
Couple drafts.
I think there's a couple
drafts. Don't mention your striker to my striker, bro. Simple.
Serious. But he was good, man.
I'm happy.
Loved it. I'm glad to see that he's progressing. I think obviously he was a bit hit and miss at first. I don't want to re-quote and rehash, but I've seen tweets from a certain friend saying Daniel James better than Pepe at some point in the season. I don't know. Step outside, Benji. Go on about your business. Madness. But nah, he's stepping up now. We'll let you off, bro. We'll let you off.
Listen, I'm going to keep it buck. I'm going to keep it buck with you. When Pepe first arrived, it is a bit of banter. There was a bit of banter going around. You know. And with United fans, like, it's different because there's so many of them. So you could say one thing that kind of goes in their favour. Like when I said, oh, Daniel James is better than Pepe. As banter. 30, 40 retweets, couple likes. I'm like, but he's really not though, but I'm just trying to... you know what I'm saying? But, you know... But the truth is... Nicolas Pepe, as I said before, he's sick. If you watch Pepe play and you don't get excited watching him play, like he's bringing entertainment back. He's bringing entertainment back because I'm sick of just seeing these right wingers hardly touch the ball, dipping in and just finishing off chances. I'm sick of it. I want to see a proper right winger, and I feel like that's why I'm so. Like I really like players like Mahrez and stuff who can create and score goals, and on the ball is just a different level. And I think that's who Pepe kind of he resonates with kind of the way Mahrez plays. He likes to pick the ball up, dribble past the player before even thinking about something else.
I just don't want Arteta to coach that out of him. I know he likes the passing.
To be fair, you know what? I don't think he will.
No, I don't think he will. But
I think Pepe will become more of a goal threat because at the end of the day. You've seen how like Sterling changed his game, and he can and you can still keep your game that you got as a wide player, but you can still score a lot more goals.
Just be a bit more
because truth be told, you know, Klopp's changed the game. You know what I mean? Like now, it's people are buying left and right forwards as their main goal scorers.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and your main striker now is not even really a striker.
No.
You know. Firmino being
like
a perfect example. Machine. Lacazette, like look at Lacazette.
That's why he loves
Lacazette's performance in that FA Cup final goes unnoticed. He ran his arse off the whole game. His hold-up play was sick.
Did you see the movement?
It's little things exactly. So Lacazette got the intelligence to make that run forward, but he knows he's not going to get that ball because he knows in that position there they're always going to give it to Aubameyang. And it's what I mean. Like Lacazette has spent a lot of the time sacrificing his actual game to make up for the liabilities in our team. I'm not going to mention no names, but you know exactly who I'm talking about. And when Lacazette has to drop in deep and do the creating side of things, our number 9 shouldn't be doing that.
No.
You know what I mean? Because he hasn't got the actual midfielders behind him to do that either. But it's starting to all come along.
Yeah, it's coming along. It's coming along.
And you know,
we don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
No. Look, we need to see games like Villa. You know, like you see the game against Villa, for example, when we lost.
Yeah.
It brings us back down to earth.
Yeah, 100%.
It gives us a reality check. Getting knocked out of the Europa League, it gives us a reality check. Because you know why? Because we know there is improvement needs to be made.
100%.
When we went on that 22 unbeaten run with Emre, we thought we was the best team in the fucking Premier League. Seriously, we did. We thought, oh, Emre's the man, he's the But the truth of the matter is, it was papers over cracks because we were so poor in them 22 games. We wasn't great. There was a lot of chances against us that if it was a good striker or it was a good attacker, it was goals in our net. And how many performances has Leno saved us from? And how many performances, even just recently, has Emi Martinez? You know, our keepers have kept us in games, and then Aubameyang's gone and scored a goal that's kept us. That's won us the game. But ultimately, you know, it's our keepers that have performed so much this season.
I feel like
it's a mix of both. Like Aubameyang stepped up obviously as well. That's their job, but.
Like when Man United got second, it was De Gea season. Really, he saved them completely.
That's
why you pay the money for
they're like that's like an extraordinary performances. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie though, I'm fearful for Man United next season.
You know what we can do? We can get into that another time.
Yeah.
You know what though? But I can see it's took 7 years, but you can see that. You know what?
The team is formed.
The identity of the club is back. People are actually going into games like.
Shit.
Oh shit, we've got to face Manchester United.
100%.
Whereas before, since Fergie's gone, it's just been like, oh, United, we can get a result.
Yeah.
But you know, we've got time for that.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that.
We've got a few podcasts in the lines that just want to come back and say like we're here, we're back in business.
But look how we're talking about United and their progress. Are we heading in the right direction? Do you think we're heading in the right direction?
I do think so. I think with Arteta we're going in the right direction. We're playing a nice, attractive. I won't say attractive, but there's patterns of play there now that weren't there before. There's a style. Whereas I feel like
there's an identity with Arsenal now. I think people know now that against a bit obviously the obvious better teams than us, like the Cities and the Liverpools, we will sit back and we're going to make it so hard for you to dominate us. We're going to make it difficult. It's not easy to defend like the way we did against City. Liverpool, alright, look, Liverpool fans are adamant that we threw the game away. You had 23 shots at us. You didn't throw the game away. You just couldn't score any. That's what I believe. You just couldn't score that day because 100%. We made it hard for you. Same with Man City. They dominated us in every aspect of the game except where it mattered. Goals. And we created more clear-cut chances, I think, against City. So it shows that we do have an identity.
And I think
now.
With the quick players that we've got as well, it makes sense for us to play that. So
sit back bang.
You got Pepe Aubameyang running, Saka. He even seems like he's like slightly dropping out of the team a little bit. To be fair, I don't know why.
Because he hasn't played, but I think you know what I think it is. I think Arteta's keeping him grounded. He's been given a new contract. He's on big money now. I think Arteta's showing him. Just because you got the contract, the job isn't done yet. So maybe Saka.
That's why I like him.
Maybe Saka got the contract. And he's relaxed off a bit in training. Maybe he's like, you know what, I can relax now because I'm sorted. The next 5 years of my career is sorted now. You know what I mean?
You need to watch yourself because Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
But Arteta is humbling him.
Yeah.
And Arteta is showing him that just because you've had a good moment, you've had a good 6 months. It's about consistency and keeping it up. And if you're not working hard enough, as Arteta said, if you're not on the same boat as him, you either step up or you step aside. And there's a lot of players who are being made to step aside.
Yeah.
The Ozils, the Guendouzis, because there's a standard.
I'm sad about that one.
It is sad because we have a video out there that we will slap in the description that you can go watch where we praising Guendouzi. And Dougie loves Guendouzi.
I do, man. Guendouzi's cool. I think when he goes, if he does do the Coutinho Guendouzi swap,
cool, that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer.
Barcelona, you know. I think he'd work really well in that team.
But Coutinho worked perfectly for us as well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think with Guendouzi, he's a baller. I won't say that he hasn't got the ability because he does have the ability. I've watched him live with my own eyes, dragging us back into games. But the truth of the matter is, if you do not fit the standard of the club, on and off the pitch, you do not belong at the club. 100%. It's that simple, and Arsenal have always lived by them values. If you want to leave our club, then go. We've let even better players go. It hurts.
Yes.
But you know what? It's for the greater good.
And he was there to make money, really.
And you know what? Look, bro, it's for the greater good. Did we win the FA Cup with without these people. Yes, we did. Did we need Mesut Ozil to do it? No, we never. Did we need Guendouzi? No, we never. We showed that we can do it. We showed that we can do it. Okay. Now, going forward, yeah, we're going to need to replace these players. And
let's talk about that. Let's wrap up the video with what you think Arteta should do.
Realistically,
in the transfer market.
I'm going to keep it realistic, and I'm going to keep it realistic. I'm going to take into consideration the coronavirus. I'm going to take into consideration that we haven't really got a lot of assets to sell. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm going to take all this into consideration. I genuinely want these signings done. Mm-hmm. I need an Aubameyang new deal signed. 100%. Because Aubameyang signing a new deal is the best striker in the Premier League. And, and I've seen how like a team can get affected by losing their best player. Yeah. Like, we've experienced it so much. We've seen it our whole lives. We've lost our best players. If we keep Aubameyang, it is intent. It's the board showing ambition that we are going to keep him at all costs because he wants to stay. But if you're not going to show ambition, then why would he stay? Just like why we lost Robin van Persie, just why we lost Thierry Henry. Now we can't afford to lose Aubameyang at this stage. Now we have to keep him at all costs. So there's number one, straight off the bounce, Aubameyang. I'm
gonna throw some names at you. Partey.
If we can get him. Just because he signed a new contract with Atletico, look, they're protecting their asset. Mm-hmm. If anybody understands any economics of football, you just know what Villa are doing with Grealish. They're protecting their asset.
Bellingham with
Blues, protecting their asset. Partey with Atletico, protecting their asset. Mm-hmm. Sancho with Dortmund. You know, if they're going to lose their best player, you got to compensate them, or they're one of their best players.
Yeah.
If we can get Partey done, I'll be more than happy. Mm-hmm. Do I think we're going to be able to get him? I don't think so.
Who would you rather have, Partey or Ceballos?
We need to get Ceballos signed.
Yeah.
I think we've been missing a Santi Cazorla type player in our midfield since Cazorla left. And since Cazorla's gone, you can see that our attacking capabilities have become so poor. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's not a coincidence that we look a lot better going forward since Dani Ceballos has been a regular starter in the team.
Fact.
You know what I mean? And he actually does the dirty work.
Yeah.
So we've got a guy
Master the Dark Arts.
Master of the Dark Arts.
I told you.
I don't told you that about that.
I told you, Yo.
Don't be mentioning. Voldemort. But seriously though, like on a level, Ceballos is bringing this dynamic into the Arsenal midfield. He's a maestro. That's it. It's simple as that. He's a maestro. Xhaka's not a maestro. Yeah. Xhaka's robust. Yeah. I think we need to sign another centre midfielder as well. Mm-hmm. Like we need somebody there with experience that can help.
Okay.
Because you need experience, like, you know what I'm saying? And I genuinely feel, if you look at the two best teams in the world right now, Man City and Liverpool, arguably Real Madrid as well, because they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
If you look at them two and you see which signings actually changed them clubs, it's unbelievable. So look, you took Laporte out of Man City this season, yeah? And they ended up 30 points behind. Mm-hmm. Not the 30 points behind, but they ended up so far behind Man City. Liverpool. Yeah. They've ended up so far behind Liverpool, like 18. Like, I don't know what 18 or 19 points behind Liverpool. I'm not sure. I think Man City finished on 81 and Liverpool finished on 99.
Was it 99?
Yeah, Liverpool finished on 99 points. If you've seen the signing that has transformed Liverpool into this monster, who was it? No, it was Virgil van Dijk. You took Laporte out of Man City. Mm-hmm. Look how far behind Liverpool they were. So, going all out for a dominant centre-back who's experienced, intelligent, it needs to be done because you see what it can do. And as Fergie said, defence wins your titles. Attackers win your games, defence wins your titles. And Liverpool are the actual living proof of that. This season, Liverpool never scored the most goals in the Premier League, but they conceded the least, and they won the title.
It was solid.
Say no more. That is straight off the bat.
Spine, innit?
That's it. You need a solid spine, and we need a solid centre back. Next,
we need to see what Saliba's about, man. Because you just Saliba, Mari. We do. I think we should definitely get someone, but we do need to give him a chance.
Look, 35-year-old David Luiz is not leading us back into the top four.
Definitely not.
But a young Virgil van Dijk and Laporte are winning Man City Liverpool titles. And as much as I've rinsed this guy, and I really have rinsed this guy all season, I swear I've rinsed him. You lot will know about Harry Maguire. I've rinsed him. Yet Manchester United still finished third in the Premier League with him.
Yeah.
So it's very obvious we need to sign a defender to be able to start competing because our attackers can compete with anyone.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just our midfield and defence that can't.
Okay.
But, you know,
I'd agree.
a few gems in there.
Yeah.
KT3, Arsenal future captain.
Right, Tierney,
Well, you
love
know.
Tierney.
Who do you reckon that we need then? What do you reckon?
I'm gonna say I would like to see Partey. I like Torreira, but I feel like Partey might take us to the next level.
Champions League footballer at the end of the day, so you know.
So I wouldn't mind that signing there. Him, Xhaka, and Ceballos just rotating in that free.
Ceballos in a so we want a free midfield like a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Ceballos doing the whole KDB type box to box creative midfielder. And so he'll be our creative guy.
He's got them two just pivot.
Partey and Xhaka are more like, yo, we're gonna be behind you like your big brothers.
Yeah. I like the sound of that.
Do that. Yo, Arsenal starting to become black again. I'm loving it. Yes.
Yeah,
That's what we need. My front three are black. Black excellence. That's what I love to
That's
see,
on the BLM thing, you know.
Black Lives Matter. You're crazy. Yeah, BLM. Yo, that's what it's got.
I'm putting your hands to that now. You're killing it. Coutinho could be decent. Decent. More than I love Coutinho.
Decent, bro.
But I don't know where he fits in the system. But I'd be happy to take.
In a 4-3-3, Coutinho in the 10. I'm telling you, he will be unbelievable. I mean, he was sick for Liverpool, man. Come on, he was like, he got sold for 160 million. He was a special talent, and he never lived up to it at Barcelona, and he'd done a bits and bobs at Bayern. But at the end of the day, it can happen, and they're not easy. They're not easy leagues, man. They're not easy
to go to. And
They are high level technical, especially Spain. It's high level technical football. 100%. So the kind of rash defending that you're used to in the Premier League, you're not going to be used to in Spanish because it's all like a lot of it's zonal and they're so intelligent and you know what I mean. So it's a whole different ball game in Spain when it comes to defending. Yeah. But Coutinho to Arsenal,
I'd love that. Perfect. Final one, Willian. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of people say that Willian's not a good signing. I'm sorry, if you sign Daniel James from the Championship, you can't tell me what a good signing is and what a bad signing is. Signing a 31-year-old, experienced Champions League footballer who in the past 4 seasons hasn't finised out of the top 4 maybe? Probably I'm not too sure. Yeah, they've been in the top 4, so he's an experienced Champions League footballer. He's a serial winner. Just last season they embarrassed us and he was a part of the team that embarrassed us. They finished top 4 last season. They got Champions League football, and this season, when it mattered, Willian stepped up for Chelsea, and Willian and Pulisic, made a massive impact as to why Chelsea finished in the top 4. 100%. So for anybody out there that's telling me they wouldn't take Willian, who still finished with more goals and assists than Nicolas Pepe, you would not take him at Arsenal. All the experience that he can bring.
People have been ageist then. It's just because
ageist. Jamie Vardy just won the Golden Boot, man.
Yeah.
Football's changing, people. Being 33 years old in football, it could possibly mean you're not that old anymore. Yeah. You could still win Golden Boots.
100%.
Cristiano Ronaldo is 35 years old, and he's competing for Golden Boots in Spain. I mean, Italy. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is football's changed, man. Yeah.
People look after their bodies now, man.
Football are athletes now. The longevity in football is starting to become more and more apparent. Mm-hmm. More and more players are starting to play for longer and longer. It's not boxing. Mm-hmm. You're not taking punches to the head for 20 years. You're just playing football. You might get a knock here and then, injuries and that, but you can play. And sports science
now is allowing it. You can develop your game as well, just so you maybe don't have to do
sports science is allowing it.
Sick.
And we're seeing
and Jamie Vardy, even Aguero.
That's what I mean. Like, these players are old. Like, Vardy's just won the Golden Boot, man, at 33 years old.
Salute
to win Premier League legend. More Golden Boots than Sergio Aguero.
Jeez.
You get me?
Wow.
I ain't not an Aguero because I love Aguero. I just like to, put it in perspective that his age don't matter.
No matter.
So what if Williams...
Age ain't nothing but a number.
It ain't nothing but a number. Wow. I was about to say about to go down.
His vocal back quickly.
Quickly.
Today it's been Fresh Offense. We're back. We just wanted to let you know that we're here. We're live. We're doing our thing. We're going to be back making regular videos and content 100%. For everyone that's been saying, where the videos at, fam?
Where the videos at, cuz?
The videos are here now, so make sure you subscribe, comment the ting, support the ting, share it up, blah, 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 back. And you will catch us again. And we'll be discussing transfers. We'll probably do team of the season as well. That's on the
team of the season, player of the season, Kevin De Bruyne.
We'll do our Henderson debate again.
There is no debate.
We can chop. We're gonna chat.
We ain't gonna get into that, but there's no debate.
People, it's been a pleasure.
More than a pleasure.
Take it easy. I'm Fresh.
And I'm Freds.
And we're there, fam. Peace
Bang.
out.